What's up, guys? Nick here, lead inspector at the Gadget Inspector, and I was just been reminiscing on my time with the Motorola Razr Ultra 2025. And while I did ultimately decide to put my SIM back into my S25 Ultra, I wanted to kind of think about and hit on the three things that I think that stopped that phone from being my daily going forward. So yeah, let's get into that. Okay, Motorola Razr Ultra 2025 is a great phone. Let me start by saying that. I still will tell you that that is the best flip style foldable that you can get in the United States right now. The caveat being, in next week actually, Samsung's going to have their Unpacked event, and so we'll see what they have to say about that. But for now, for sure the best flip style foldable. But there were three things that really stopped this phone from being my daily. Number one, the width. Now, lengthwise, it was fine. It was 7 inches, which was really good, especially for an Ultra phone. But it was a little bit too narrow for me. Now, one of the problems with that is, for me personally, I have larger hands, so it doesn't really feel good when I'm trying to text two-handedly. But the other issue is a couple of things that presented to be design issues for me. Number one was the heat management. The heat management in that phone was pretty bad, especially when you started to ask that phone to do things that Snapdragon 8 Elite was capable of. I mean, they threw that flagship level, the best chip that you can get on Android in there right now. And I think the thing that held that chip back was the heat management. Not to mention, it also had 16 gigabytes of RAM paired with the Snapdragon 8 Elite. I mean, powerhouse. But yeah, I think that adding that width would have allowed them to get better heat dissipation just naturally with the larger surface area, as well as maybe giving them the option to add a larger vapor chamber if that's what the route that they went, or the whatever heat dissipation method that they wanted to use, just to give them some space for that. So the second thing with making it wider would be the ability to maybe upgrade the speakers a little bit. I don't know if that's something that really held the speakers back was the width, but I do believe that they could have put better speakers in this thing for an ultra level device, right? Keep in mind this device starts at $12.99 and it goes all the way up to $14.99 for the 1 terabyte 16 gigabyte of RAM version. So yeah, the second issue that I have with this phone that probably prevented this phone from being my daily is the lack of a telephoto camera. Now, I know for the flip style foldables, this is kind of like industry standard, but I think that, Motorola had the chance to flip that standard, right? They had a chance to one up everybody and put one in there. Don't get me wrong, the cameras that are in there are great, but I use a telephoto on my daily. It's super handy to have, especially if you go to kids events or you go to live events. You're going to want to be able to zoom a little bit. And even the telephoto that's on the S25 Ultra, it's not amazing. It's not like a professional camera, but it gives you a viewable, presentable shot. And the lack of, I definitely felt like something was missing. Now, that's not all for the cameras. The other problem with the cameras was the camera software. I really feel like as a content creator, Samsung, Apple, even Google in some regards have set the standard for video controls for capturing content. I'm a small creator. I'm a solo creator, so my phone is always in my pocket. The ability to pull my phone out and get as close to like a pro level camera as possible is it's great, and it's hard to see a phone with the cost of $12.99, $14.99 for at most, not have those control features like controlling ISO, controlling white balance, shutter speed, all that good stuff. I just think, and yes, you can download an app. I think the Blackmagic app works for Android now. However, those coming with the phone software, and that's something that I do when I review. Like, if it doesn't come with the phone, I don't review it, right? Because then I'm reviewing something else that's not really what you purchase when you get the phone. So yeah, the lack of that coming with the phone as is, to me, was definitely a big hit. But the third reason is really, I think, the killer, and the thing that maybe outside of being a content creator and outside of me having like large hands or whatever, is something that will probably bother everyone that uses this phone, and that is the lack of continuity with the software. Listen, first off, let me tell you, I am a fan of foldables, right? I love foldables. I think that they are the future of phone design. They add a ton of utility. But if the software doesn't marry the different screens on the foldable, it becomes more cumbersome and more problematic to use than a candy bar phone. And that's where foldables go wrong. A lot of foldables get this part wrong, and it kills the entire device. And I will say, for the Motorola Razr Ultra 25, they didn't do a great job of marrying the inner screen and the outer screen experience. So, for instance, my big thing was the app continuity. When I close the phone, even if you go in the settings and set it to where the app should continue on the outer screen, it kind of kills the app and restarts it. It's not like a continuous thing. I just felt like those two experiences it almost felt like using two different phones versus a continuation of using the same phone. And that made everything feel really clunky, really cumbersome, especially for a foldable. Like, this is why we buy the phones. We buy the phones to get that extra productivity, to get that extra wow, cool factor, and to have the software do things that a candy bar phone can't do, and not the opposite. So, yeah, ultimately that was probably the nail in the coffin for me. But yeah, let me know what you think. Have you tried the Razr Ultra 2025 yet? Is it going to be your daily? Do you like it? Am I out of my mind? Do you think it's the best phone right now? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, till the next one. Peace out.